one of the most rewarding things of traveling? Finding the little gems off the beaten path. On my journey from Maine to Massachusetts, from Rockland to Boston, I did exactly that. Get to know this fabulous area on the east coast of the United States of America and join the sunny journey to coastal towns, the lobster capital of the world, and one of the nicest cities of the East Coast. After Acadia National Park is before the next destination, and my next real destination is actually Boston, but I will not go all the way today because it's already quite late and I will try to find an accommodation soon so I don't need to ride too much longer today. I didn't want to rush to Boston, and with a fantastic weather forecast decided to take it easy and spend the next day exploring more gems of the coast before arriving in Boston. So I looked for an accommodation soon, and was lucky to find one in the town Rockland that I had never heard of before, but that turned out to be a beloved destination of many East Coast travelers. This is the first glimpse of the village and downtown Rockland. And I have to admit that I had no expectation whatsoever because I simply have never heard of it. But first impression, actually, it's lovely. So I ended up in a town called Rockland today, and I actually don't know what it's popular for, but it had hotels and restaurants. That's why I chose it. Rockland is a classic Maine coastal town, and it's also one of the biggest shipping centers of lobster in the world, so it's also known as the lobster capital. Downtown Rockland attracts its visitors with different activities though. Rockland is famous for its delicious restaurants, cool bars, and its vibrant art scene. The town is home to the Farnsworth Art Museum and Wyatt Center, where an impressive collection of Maine art is highlighted. So we're coming a little bit towards the end of the journey. It's not the real end yet, but I'm going to Boston today, and from there I will only have one more place that I will go. So kind of short before the end, but it will be a nice ride and I will show you a few pretty cool things in Boston. Good morning everyone, beautiful weather now. Our final destination for today is Boston, but on the way I want to explore 2 or 3 more places here on the coast that are supposed to be super nice. This ahead of me here on the bridge, on the end of the bridge, is the town Wiscasset, and it's a town that is supposed to be very scenic and worth a visit for several reasons. One of the most famous places in Wiscasset is Red's Eats, a lobster shack that was voted the #1 lobster roll in all of New England 2022 and is supposed to have some of the best lobster rolls too. I already had my fair share of lobster in the last episode at Thurston's on Mount Desert Island, so I can't tell you if this is true or not, but I guess it's worth a try when traveling by. Wiscasset is as well famous for its historic homes and landmarks, like the Lincoln County Museum and Old Jail, and the Lincoln County Courthouse, which is the oldest functioning courthouse in New England. You can see examples of the 19th century federal-style mansions at Castle Tucker and the Nicholas Swordwell House. Now we are heading direction Boston. It's about 2.5 hours if we would go straight to Boston here on the I-95, which is the big interstate. But before going to Boston, I want to make another little excursion.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. $4.
Let's see. Do you accept cards?
No, how much money do you have?
I think only 3.
Oh, I'll take that. It's okay. You're
Okay,
good.
thank you so much. Sorry.
No worries. Have a good ride.
Are there more coming?
You have one in New Hampshire for $2.
Okay.
I think you can get a little slip and send it in the mail,
And
but I'm not sure. I believe there's only one more.
Okay.
And I think it's only cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
Here we are turning off the I-95 now. We are nearly in Boston now, but first we go kind of east to another place. After visiting Rockland in the morning, I ended up at another town with rock in its name before heading to Boston. Only 40 miles or 64 kilometers northeast of Boston, you find the historic Rockport. It is famous for its lovely beaches, boulder-strewn paths through woods and glades, and for its magical light that has inspired painters since centuries. The Little Red Fishing Shack in Rockport Harbor is known as Motive Number 1 and is the symbol and heart of the town and therefore inspired many artists. Originally built in the 1800s, it is definitely worth a visit when traveling through Rockport. Now we are finally really going to Boston. It has been a very nice day so far, but I'm as well looking forward to Boston. I have been there before and I think it's a super nice city. Hello Boston, or in my case, hello Somerville. I'm staying in this area here north of Boston because I'm staying with friends and they are non-motorcycle friends, so they will not be part of the video here. But after exploring Boston, I will take you to a super interesting guy that I will introduce you to and that I'm super curious about too because I have never met him before either. You guys know that I have not been to many cities on this trip, but today I am in Boston downtown and I will take you around a little bit. I spent my next 2 days at my friends and explored Boston. And yes, there are many interesting facts to know about the city. For example, that there are no happy hours at bars in Boston because it's against the law since 1984. That Boston built America's first subway in 1897, or that the park Boston Common is the oldest public park in the USA and was established in 1634, and is still a popular place for folks to gather and must visit for tourists like me. The most important things to do in Boston, though, is just enjoying the atmosphere, for example when walking down trendy Newbury Street or visiting Cambridge, that Boston is neighboring, to see the famous university quarters of Harvard. Guys, even though this was a rather short ride and episode, I hope you enjoyed the journey to Boston. If you did, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment. And prepare yourself for the next episode, because it will be a very special one. Tune in next Thursday to find out who I will be visiting, to learn some really interesting things about old cars, and to see me driving a very different vehicle than a motorcycle.